morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Apotman, and I am coming to you right now, live. I'm not live, this is recorded in Luntiang Agama Natural Divine Art Shine of Healing, and welcome to another podcast of Apos Layer here at Anchor.fm. If yesterday we have shared to you the poem that I wrote years ago, that is the persuasion, today I am going to share another prayer that I have written on July 17, 2007. And the prayer that I am going to share to you is the prayer for Reformation. So let's take a pause, a silent right now, and listen to the prayer that I have made.
I call upon God, the God who created the heavens and the earth, the God who made the stars, the moon, the planets, the worlds, and the universe. I call upon you who was and is called by many names, but only one God. To you who has 1,000 and even million manifestations to all beings who call love and worship you, I pray. I pray to you, O God, who gave life and form to every being, seen and unseen, to create in me once more a new life and form like you have created in us before. But this time, God, I ask you to create in me a new life, a life that is out of hatred, a life that is out of fear, a life that is out of envy, jealousy, pride, and all the host of negativity that makes every being to suffer. I ask you, God, to create in me a new life, a life that is full of love, joy, peace, hope, and goodwill. I ask you to create in me a worthy vessel of your loving mercy to the world, a channel of blessings to all your creation, seen and unseen. I ask you to make me a channel of your love, joy, peace, hope, and goodwill. Make me a blessing to everyone who seeks you. Radiate your power upon me, that through me may people see a glimpse of your glory. May I always be in perfect communion and harmony with you and to all beings. So mote it be. Mayari na pag-asati. And that is our prayer of Reformation or for Reformation that I have written on July 17, 2007. So in this prayer, we recognize that as a religion, all religion have their statement or belief in God. Whether their belief in God that God exists or not, it is a belief system. And another common denominator to all religion of Luntiang Agama is that they believe in the power of prayer as a form of communication to the divine. In this prayer, we are calling God. And on the first verse, on the first stanza of the prayer, we have defined what kind of God that we are calling to. And in this prayer, it is said that we are calling upon God, the God who created the heavens and the earth, the God who made the stars, the moon, the planet, the worlds, and the universe. In this prayer, we are establishing our faith to a supreme divine being that creates the one that started to mold the universe, that provides life. And in the second stanza of the prayer, we have defined here, or we understand that the nature of God. Aside from the Creator, this God has been called in many names. And I called upon you who was and is called by many names, but only one God. It seems right now the doctrines of every churches, it seems that there are many gods. And this God has been called by many names according to the people and their usage of their names. But for us in Luntiana Agama, we believe that there is one God. And this God has many names, such as the emotion of love that we have from one another. In our country alone, there are many words. People use many words to describe love, such as in English it is known as love, but in Filipino we call it mahal. It called also pag-ibig and ayatin, ginuhugma kita, and so on and so forth. And probably in Japanese, the word love is aishiteru, or in Spanish, or Latin or Italian, it is ti amo. And the word love has many names, or yeah, many words to use depending on the people that call that energy of love. So this is also the same belief that we have, that God is one, but it has many names. But whatever name that we call God, as long as we want the presence of God, we know that God will listen. And through this prayer, we will continue to read what is what our prayer, no? What do our intention in calling God? And we said, to you who has 1,000 and even million manifestation to all beings who call, love, and worship you, I pray. So we are calling. Prayer is a form of calling attention to the great supreme divine being. It's like that making a phone call or a chat to God. And this is the prayer that we are doing right now is a form of calling God's attention to listen to us. And and in this prayer, we have enumerated, or we have stated that I pray to you, O God, who gave life and form to every being, seen and unseen, to create in us once more a new life and form like you have created in us before. So, this is the purpose of our prayer. We have stated the work of God in our life, that it is mentioned in this prayer that we firmly believe that our life belongs to God, and God gave us life. And aside from the life that we have stated in our prayer that aside from the life, God also gave us form. The form that we have right now, being male or female, being tall or short, being black or white. It is God that gave us an image, a form that people could see us. And even the unseen beings. We have mentioned that God gave life and form to every being, whether seen or unseen. So in this prayer, we are stating the coexistence of all creatures, and the creature of God are not always seen like us. Seen in terms of using the eyesight that we can see people, but there are also unseen beings. When I talk about the unseen beings, I am not referring to ghosts, to any paranormal activity. Although there are existence of the spirits in the soul, but aside from the unseen being, there are microbes that also exist in our being, such as right now, uh, 2020, we experience such a pandemic of the coronavirus. We don't see coronavirus, but it exists. And that is one part of God's creation that are unseen. And we recognize the power of God in creating even the unseen things, and even the unseen event that we are not expecting to happen to us. We know that it is in God's power and control that this unseen event will be will happen or can be prevented. And here, to continue in our prayer, we ask God to create in us once more a new life and a new form. Yes, because God have created us before, and I know in this prayer we state or we firmly believe that God has the ability to create a new life and form in us. But as we continue to read this, let us know why we need to be recreated, why we need to be renewed. No, many people right now are asking for a new beginning in their life, especially those people that have started their life, and if their life right now is in trouble, we want to reset it. It's not good. Okay, let's start again. Let's make new. This is the same thing when I'm doing this podcast. If I feel that my recording is bad, okay, I'm gonna delete and start again. It's okay. It's okay to begin anew, so that on the path that we walk, we could be we could have or we could obtain a good result. And this is the reason why we pray for reformation. We ask God to reform us, to renew us, so that everything in our life will be good. So if you are experiencing bad thing in your life, a series of unlucky strike in your life, you may ask God to transform you, to renew you, so that the new opportunities that are coming on your way will benefit and serve you. I know every one of us are wishing or praying that 2020 will be renewed. Though time is uncontrollable, but God has the power to change everything in our lives. So let us continue in our prayer. And here we ask God, but this time, God, I ask you to create in me or us a new life. We deserve to have a new life. After all the trouble that we experienced this year and in the previous year, we deserve to have a new life. And if you right now are well and still existing and living, actually, the world right now has been changed since we are practicing the new normal, and this is a new life for us, a new world for us to live. So, in this new life, what kind of life do we want to live right now? In this prayer, I ask God to give us, to create us a new life. A life that is out of hatred, a life that is out of fear, a life that is out of envy, jealousy, pride, and all the host of negativity that makes every being suffer. Indeed, this world is full of negative energies. And you know what I notice about this world? It is only us human beings are that creating fear in ourselves by being selfish, self-centered, and everything. I suspect that this coronavirus is man-made, but that is only a suspicion. And whether there is a real virus attacking people, killing people, I know that God has a purpose in doing that. But right now, even the coronavirus is afflicting people. But what is in the mind of the world right now is fear of this, and sometimes hatred towards one another in the government and doubt and etc. etc. That's why I ask God right now. We are asking God right now to create in us a new life. We always pray, we always ask that I hope that the world will be renewed. The old normal, the old self, the happy times that we could meet one another without the mask in our face. We could shake our hand, we could hug, and we can have a close relationship to one another. But since we are now in the real world, will we allow this new normal continue until the next generation? What kind of world that we will have if this will not stop? That's why right now I call upon you, my brothers and sisters. Yes, you are my brother and you are my sister. Join me in praying for peace, in praying to have a renewed life, a renewed world in this lifetime. So let me continue. Now, I ask you, God, to create in us a new life. What kind of life? A life that is full of love, joy, peace, hope, and goodwill. Indeed, we need that one. A life that is full of love. Remember how you express your love to your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, and to your family. And that love give us joy, right? And as we have joy, we have peace, hope, and goodwill. Everything is going right in love. And that's why we always pray for love. And we must secure that love in our heart so that we could have the happiness and peace that we deserve. And through our prayer, we ask also God to create. It's not only to have love, joy, peace, and hope and goodwill, but we also ask for God to create us a worthy vessel of your loving mercy to the world. It is through this prayer that we ask to be reformed so that God's power, God's loving mercy could be found within our body, within our life. And through our action, we could radiate the mercy of God throughout the world. So we now in this prayer are becoming, it's like a messenger or a vessel of God power, the radiation of God on earth. God is in heaven or wherever you believe God is. But in this world, we are the radiation of God. So if people think that see us, they may feel the glory of God within us. They will find comfort, confidence. The hatred will be gone, the fear will be gone, etc., etc. And there is peace. In this prayer, we ask a channel of as a vessel of loving mercy of the world. We have asked God to make us a channel of blessings to all of your creation. It's not only for human beings, no, for us human beings, but to all creation, seen and unseen. So it means if you are a channel of God's blessing to mankind, it's not only mankind will benefit from the blessings of God, it is also all the creatures, even the plants, the animals, the insects, the sin, and even the bacteria. Imagine if you are God's vessel of power. I know that the coronavirus will bow down to you. And if we are the vessel of God, we have the power to overcome all these challenges that is happening to us. And as we continue to pray, we said, I ask you to make us a channel of your love, joy, peace, hope, and goodwill. Like what I'm telling you. Now, if we are a channel of blessing, people will feel the love, the joy, peace, and goodwill that comes from God. And even the coronavirus and all the bad things will bow down to us. And that's why we ask God to make us a blessing to everyone who seeks God. And we ask to radiate His power, the God's power in us, that through us people may see a glimpse of your glory. And aside from that, we don't stop from praying like that, but we ask God's guidance, God's help, that we always be in perfect communion and harmony with you, to God and to all beings, in love and in light. So mote it be. And this is my prayer for everyone. And the role of prayer is to connect us always to the divinity so that we could be always aligned to the will of God. We could be in perfect communion, in harmony with God. As we are in perfect communion and harmony with God, we can also be in perfect harmony to all beings. So until then, may you all blessed be peace. Mayari na pag-asating.